Training like a bodybuilder cost me years of progress with my physique. And it was only when I started to train less and drop the whole clean eating thing did my physique finally start to change. So in this video, I'm going to show you all the mistakes that I made in the early days of my fitness journey and how I got into the best shape of my life while training for less than 4 hours a week in the gym, eating out more and drinking more beers. Right, first off, let's talk about all the training mistakes I made in the early days of my fitness journey. We need to do a vibe check first, actually. If you're familiar with bodybuilding.com, Maxi Muscle Cyclone, Gold Standard BCAAs, and Six Pack Shortcuts, well, you probably already know how my training looks. But if you're not familiar with that, let me break it down to you. I was training 5 days a week for nearly 2 hours a session for years, following a split of chest and tries, back and bis, legs, shoulders and abs, and a separate cardio day. I'd absolutely annihilate each body part with about 20 sets per session. I'd be training just in the 10 to 12 rep range because that's apparently the muscle building rep range and all that, or at least I thought back then. And then on top of that, I was just leaving every single workout feeling battered and bruised. I took all of my advice from bodybuilding forums when it came to training. So it meant that I was brainwashed into thinking that more equals better. And it even got to a point where I was told that I need to do burnout sets to finish every workout, otherwise I wasn't going to shock the body enough. Fuck me, I even believed that the leg press was bad for my knees, all because some random bloke called Gains 3000 told me it was bad for me. But training in that way did not lead to any muscle growth whatsoever. Nope, instead I came away with fucked up joints and a fried nervous system. I was lifting with zero intensity because I was training under constant fatigue from doing too many sets. So is it really any surprise that I stayed skinny fat for years when I was training like that? Alright, now let's talk about the daft nutrition mistakes I made that kept me skinny fat for so many years too. It'll come as no surprise whatsoever that I was brainwashed into the Tupperware life. I'm going to be completely honest with you about the early days of my fitness journey here, so strap in, it's about to get embarrassing. So I used to live off a strict 7-day meal plan full of dry, bland and boring as fuck meals, obsessed with this idea of eating as clean as possible. And it meant no matter what the occasion was, the Tupperware came with me. I used to stink out the staff room with salmon fillets and veggies. I also used to take a handful of almond nuts and hard-boiled eggs into the gym on my morning shifts. Hell, I even took Tupperware with me to Forest games. I really wasn't proud of that, don't like talking about it, but it's important for the story. Anyway, you'd assume that sticking to a very strict, very rigid and clean diet plan would make getting results effortless, right? Nope, I fucking hated it, and I'd usually find myself every few weeks binging on my favorite comfort foods. The Mars bars, the Doritos, the Chinese takeaways. I used to nail these things every few weeks just to give me a bit of a dopamine hit when my diet simply got too boring and unsustainable for me. Because, shock horror, when you design your diet to be as boring, flavorless and restrictive as possible, it becomes a nightmare to stick to. Imagine that. And trying to eat so perfectly clean is especially a problem when you're the kind of person who enjoys eating out and going for a beer like me. Right, that's enough of all the daft bodybuilder stuff I used to do back in the day. Let's talk about the stuff I did to take me from a skinny fat repeat offender to a better rig built by beers and burgers. Still small as fuck, but an improvement, right? So my training has changed drastically compared to the bro days. I've mostly trained just 4 times per week for less than an hour each time, utilizing upper, lower or full body splits. I've aimed for 10 to 16 quality sets per muscle group per week, split evenly across 2 dedicated sessions in a 7-day rotation. And I focused on rinsing and repeating movements that I know I get on well with, that I know I can get strong as fuck at, that is going to in turn lead to more muscle growth. I quickly discovered that less equals more in this muscle building game. With less overall sets split evenly across multiple sessions, it meant that I could put more intensity into each and every one of those sets and therefore challenge the muscle more and force it to grow. And probably the crucial thing as well is that I didn't program hop. I was following the same training split for a very minimum of 8 weeks, but more often than not, running it for 12, 14, even 16 weeks. Giving my body time to get familiar with the same movement patterns, improve my execution, and focus on progressive overload over a long-term basis gave me so much more potential for muscle growth, which I never got back in the day because I used to change workouts every few weeks to shock the muscles, which if you didn't know is a load of shit. But really, it was the change in my relationship with nutrition that led to the breakthrough changes. The biggest thing was that I got rid of this bullshit idea about there being good and bad foods for fat loss. Because here's the thing, all foods contain calories, protein, carbs, and fats. Don't get me wrong, some contain more micronutrients than others, and others are more calorie dense than others too. But what you need to know is this, your physique and your health is determined by your overall diet quality, not individual foods. Which means if 80 to 90% of my diet is dedicated towards the health stuff, like protein, healthy fats, micronutrient dense foods and fiber, then I can get away with leaving calories spare for a few beers, a pastry here or there, or even a fat ass burger on the weekends. And do you want to know what that did for me? Well, it finally allowed me to be consistent with nutrition for the first time in my life. I no longer felt restricted, which meant that I could enjoy the odd pint or pizza while still being able to tick all the boxes for my physique goals. There was no crazy cravings or urges to hit the fuck it button, like I didn't need to, because my overall diet was enjoyable and realistic for my life. Don't get me wrong, it has not been perfect. Of course, along the way, there's been holidays, there's been a bunch of life shitstorms, and there have been no end of hangovers along the way. I might well be an online fitness coach, but I'm not afraid to admit I do like getting loose from time to time, and I'm pretty good at it. But the overall consistency of my diet over the last few years, where I've been tracking my calories religiously, prioritizing the health stuff, leaving room for the fun stuff, is what's got me in the best shape of my life today. My physique literally got so much better when I started to eat less clean and drink more beers. Funny that. And that, ladies and gents, is how going down the anti-fitness route got me in the best shape of my life. Now, if you're sat there thinking, Sam, I wish I could go through a process like this and get a result like you. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can, because you can come and try the Barbell and Beers program completely for free for 4 weeks. If you're not familiar, the Barbell and Beers program is my bespoke one-to-one coaching service that has achieved all the results that you see on screen right now. And all of those clients have achieved those results by using my systems to get in shit-hot shape without swerving their social life. And you can get a taste of what my coaching methods and systems look like for free entirely for 4 weeks. You're going to get access to all the knowledge and experience that I've gained from coaching over 300 plus people over the last few years, broken down into simple self-guided steps over 4 weeks. If you're keen to give it a go, just head to the link in the description and get yourself signed up. Oh, and before you go, if you actually want to see in detail what my nutritional system looks like with my clients that have helped achieve the results that you saw earlier in this video, it's called the Anti-Boring Fucker Diet Strategy. And if you want to know a little bit more about how that works and how that's achieved the results that you've seen, just click on this video right here and have a little watch. And that's all for me anyway. I'll see you in the next video.